Hello, everybody. This is Ethan, and welcome back to the United Devils YouTube channel. Today, I will be going over and giving my opinions on Ralf Rangnick's time in charge here. And it's obviously something that everyone's been talking about. Would we have been better sticking with Ole? Would we have been better not bringing him at all? Should he have just gone to maybe a consultant role? If that would be even possible. And I think a lot of people's kind of opinions are that it was right for Ollie to leave, but would have rather seen a more full-time position be filled. But we know it is quite hard to get managers from top clubs during like the midpoint of the season. Do you know what I mean? So I think the position of interim manager had to be filled, and some people even saying should we have stuck with Carrick, but I think people just wanted that backroom staff completely gone anyway. So yeah, we have Ralf Rangnick. I was very excited about the appointment. I've heard good things, and looking on the surface, if you said to a fan who doesn't watch United or don't keep up to date, or even just like a non-football fan, if you just said to someone, yeah, we have this new manager and he's only had one loss, if you said that to them, they'd be like, oh yeah, that sounds quite good. But when you get into the details, it's not so much. That draw against Villa yesterday, I mean, I only saw the last half an hour, but that last half an hour just summed up United at this point. We had two good goals from Bruno, but then just Ramsey, he scores, United just absolutely capitulate and let Coutinho, of all people, score on his debut for Villa. He didn't even start the match. In a 5-minute window, the 77th minute to the 82nd minute. I mean, what does that say about us? I mean, we look at the results. Yes, it's been one loss, but it's a win against Norwich, a very, very unconvincing win against Norwich. We didn't perform well at all. Norwich deserved to win that. A draw against Newcastle. Newcastle deserved to win that. A loss against Wolves. It's. I think it's fair to more focus on the players, because I agree with some of the things Ralf Rangnick is doing. Dropping big players if they're not performing well, not like Ollie, where I feel players could be complacent with their position. It's like, oh, he's probably not going to drop me. Do you know what I mean? Like take for example, McTominay and Fred. Playing week in, week out, even when they weren't performing well. Most of the time they don't perform well, but they have their individual brilliance. Fred has really stepped up, I guess. Recently, he gets stuck in. He won us Ralf Rangnick's first game against Palace, and McTominay as well, scoring in the FA Cup, a game which we again struggled in. But yeah, he drops player. He's not afraid to drop players, even when they might be big names. But look, if they're not performing well, usually Ralf will drop them, which is good. It's a good thing. And like Ole, he likes the youth. He's trying to give youth a chance. Starting Alanga yesterday was a big point, and from what I've been told, Alanga as well, a fantastic performance. Or you could see his passion. Do you know what I mean? And do you know what? I saw someone actually say, I would not blame Rangnick if he started the under-23s or the under-18s, or just, basically youth team, because they know what it means to fight for the shirt, to play for United. And yeah, I think the players' attitudes do have to come into question, because Ralf has come in. He's, see, it's very hard to say what has happened and what hasn't happened, because there's so many reports going around of just different things. Take the Martial situation, for example. The Martial situation, a perfect example of just why can we not believe every report that comes out, because Rangnick has said that he did not want to, Martial did not want to go with the squad. Martial then responds, I think it was on his Instagram story or something, that he basically never said that. He never wants to disrespect the club or the fans. So who's lying? Do you know what I mean? Who is lying? Now, that's not so much as, bait media headlines, but it's just the club itself. You know what I mean? Was Greenwood unhappy with Ronaldo? Is Ronaldo unhappy with the entirety? Well, he did that interview basically saying United shouldn't be where they are, but that's the truth. They shouldn't. They shouldn't be. What are we, 7th? So I think it's a fair point. But my point being is that Rangnick has come in. He's probably changed around the training. He's using different methods. He wants to obviously implant his Gegenpress style. But I think because not putting the blame onto Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I love Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I think he did fantastic things at this club. But I think players could afford, as I said, to be complacent under him. But now Rangnick's coming. They're not reacting to change well, and you have to have the mentality. And I think it's pretty clear to see these players just don't have the mentality. They just simply do not have the mentality. Maguire, for example, he hasn't been playing well recently. If that was Ole, I think he would have still started Maguire. But Rangnick has said no, and he's gone with a Lindelof Varane pairing, which I think is a good pairing. Now, he's they're letting the 2 goals, not them specifically, but the defensive line. And I see some people saying like, "Oh, this player is the problem. This player is the problem." I don't think necessarily any player is the problem. I think it's the whole mentality of the squad. If you do not want to play for this club, then get out. Get out, because we don't want you. If you don't want to play, don't. And I know that's easier said than done, but it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, seriously. Some people saying Ronaldo is the problem. Is he? He has saved us so many times. We would probably be out of the Champions League. We probably wouldn't be facing Atletico. We'd probably be back in the Europa League without him. And some people saying De Gea is the problem. Really? De Gea? I mean, he has kept us in. That Newcastle game, he pulled off some great saves. Yeah, we should have lost that game, but we didn't, and it was down to him. So I don't know. I think what Rangnick has to do is, just play players that he believes in and believes that has the right mentality and are passionate, like Alanga. You can clearly see on the pitch Alanga is passionate, he's driven. Yeah, okay, yeah, he didn't score, but come on, you can see from his attitudes. And I've always taken a chance with Anthony Alanga. And hopefully, players like Ahmad, Palestre, Zidane Iqbal, Charlie Savage. Do you know all these players who Rangnick has? Well, Rangnick gave chances to Alanga yesterday. He's given chance to Charlie Savage and Zidane Iqbal. Give them more chances. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, we have to talk about the Donny van de Beek situation. He's still not being played. Why? God only knows. God only knows. I think Rangnick either has to say to Van de Beek, yeah, I'm not playing you, or yeah, I'm going to play, yeah, I'm going to give you the time you want, because it's unfair. It's actually unfair. Like, yeah, okay, a player can be a bench warmer and sit out for a few matches, but this is genuinely hindering his career at this point. I think it already has. Like, he scored in Ollie's last match. He almost scored yesterday. It was brought on about 3 minutes before 90. So, he has talent. He's young enough. Why is he wasting away on the bench? Yeah, okay, you have Matic, who's put in some solid performances recently. Yeah, Fred has stepped up. McTominay scored in the FA Cup. But I think Van de Beek could perform, if given the chance, better than all three of them. I genuinely believe that. But we can't really say that because we haven't seen enough of him playing. And who's that down to? The manager. I think basically Rangnick he's come in, he's tried to change the mentality of the club, he's tried to play players who he wants to play. But let's say if the Anthony Martial situation is true, if a player doesn't want to actually play for United, then he can't select them then, can he? As he said, he didn't want to play, so I'm not going to play him. Well, fair enough. And it's like, if a player wants to leave, they should come to him directly. Yeah, you should. Now, as I said, we don't know if that's fully true, but I don't know why the manager would put himself out there and say that. Do you know what I mean? Like, it would make no sense. But the players, we're seeing a lot of their true colours now. We've seen that they had maybe had it easy under Ole, maybe, as I said, complacent. And I'm not saying the players are being malicious, or not all of them, but they're showing more. I guess it's a hard thing to explain. It's just an absolute stay at United. It really, really is. I'm not saying players showing their true colours, as I said, being malicious, but I'm just Ronaldo. For example, coming out and saying where where United should be, and he's not happy. Well, yeah, of course you're not. The old Martial situation, if that's true, it's just loads of reports saying this player isn't happy, this player is the problem. This is, our fan base is so divided, our club is so divided. It's like the least united I've seen it in a while. But is that Rangnick's fault? I don't think so. I genuinely don't think so. We need to sign a midfielder. That's another big thing. We need to sign a midfielder desperately. If you're not going to play Van de Beek, put him on the transfer list and get a midfielder that can create something. Because, yeah, Bruno can create something, but we need a holding midfielder who can create some stuff. And look, some people might be saying, that's not really Van de Beek's position. Well, fair enough, but we still need someone. I think, I'm probably going to pronounce his name wrong, but was it like Zakaria, for about 5-6 million? That's a steal. It's literally a steal. That's like a drop in the water for the Glazers. But that's another thing. The Glazers. I mean, look, I'm not going to get into that. But there was a banner unveiled saying United, something along the lines of United rotten from top to bottom or something like that. And it's true. It's true. If you believe all the reports that are coming out about our players, then yeah, they are being malicious. If they're complaining about, complaining about just loads of things. I guess. And then it's just, I think, complaining about other players is one thing, but it's just going to create a toxic and tense environment, which is then going to carry over onto the performance on the pitch. And, we saw that. We've seen that. We saw that against Wolves. We saw that against, in all these final games, 4-1 against Watford. But my position on Rangnick, he's not perfect, but I think he can make something good of this season. I really do believe that. But something needs to change at United desperately. I think next manager, would I like to see Pochettino at United? I wouldn't mind it, but would I like to see Ten Hag or like a Zidane? Absolutely, yeah, bring them in. Definitely. I would definitely say Ten Hag or Zidane over Pochettino, but if Pochettino comes in, Pochettino comes in. Will the club make the right decision? Who knows? But yeah, stuff needs to change at United. We can't be going through matches like this anymore because we're weak, we're struggling, and these are against teams that some of them are in the bottom half. The majority of them are in the bottom half of the table. If we are still performing like this by the 23rd of February, when we face Atletico Madrid in the first leg of the Champions League, a game which I think we could win, but we're not going to win it if we perform like we have recently. And I think in end of February, start of March, we then face Liverpool again, and I think City. Oh, we're facing big teams anyway. And if we're performing against teams in the bottom half of the table, some in the relegation zone like this, then we've got another thing coming. We've got another 5-0 thrashing coming. We've got another outside top 6 finish coming, which hasn't happened in... I can't remember. But yeah, so my final thoughts is, have I been happy with Rangnick's time here? No. But I think it's more down to the players than the manager himself. I think obviously he needs to take some responsibility for what's happening. But if the players are complaining about his style of management and how he plays, I would say deal with it. So yeah, I'm not happy with his time here, but as I said, it's all interlinked, innit? It's all interlinked. I think it's more down to the players than Rangnick himself. With the players we have, Ronaldo, Sancho, Rashford, Fernandes, Van de Beek, Varane, De Gea, Shaw, Wan-Bissaka. We should be creating more convincing scorelines, I think. But yeah, so as I said, things need to change, and I just hope they do. I really do hope. But yeah, that's going to be me signing off. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff to the United Devils YouTube channel. Thank you for listening, as always, and I will see you in the next video.